Step deeper!
When people talk about Sung Jin-Woo, the conversation usually goes in one direction. Aura, drip, overpowered moments, shadow soldiers, or that smile he gets right before somebody realizes that they messed up. But I think what makes Jin-Woo interesting goes way deeper than that. Because underneath all the flashy fights and cool moments, he represents something that a lot of people quietly struggle with. The fear of being left behind, and the obsession with becoming someone stronger. Because when we first meet Jin-Woo, he's not special, he's not talented, he's not even respected, he's barely surviving. He's called humanity's weakest hunter, and honestly, people treat him like a burden. And that matters because a lot of power fantasies start with someone who secretly had insane potential the whole time. Jin-Woo doesn't feel like that at first. He feels exhausted, like someone stuck in a system that already decided his value. He risks his life constantly, makes almost no money compared to the danger, gets looked down on, gets pitied, and still keeps showing up. That's important because before Jin-Woo becomes powerful, he becomes persistent. And I think a lot of people overlook that. The double dungeon scene is obviously the turning point, but what makes that moment hit isn't just the horror, it's what happens psychologically. For most of his life, Jin-Woo existed in survival mode, just trying to make it through the next day. Then suddenly, he's given a chance. Not success, not power, just the opportunity to improve. And that changes everything because the system in solo leveling is genius for one reason. It externalizes self-improvement. Think about it, daily quests, stats, penalties, constant progression, visible growth. That's basically how a lot of people already think about life. Go to work, go to the gym, study, improve, repeat. Except real life progress is messy. You work hard for months and sometimes feel exactly the same. Jin-Woo gives viewers something satisfying, visible evidence that effort changes things. And people love visible progress. Because progress feels safe. Progress feels comfortable. It feels like proof, but there's another side to this because as Jin-Woo gets stronger, something else starts happening. He starts losing pieces of himself. Not completely, but enough to notice. Look at early Jin-Woo. He's nervous, awkward, scared, emotional. Then later, he becomes colder, more isolated, more distant. People around him start reacting differently too. Not because his personality changed overnight, but because power changes social gravity. People who ignored him before suddenly notice him. People who pitied him become intimidated. People who doubted him become dependent. And that shift is fascinating because strength doesn't just change how you see yourself, it changes how the world sees you. And sometimes that creates distance. A lot of viewers see Jin-Woo's transformation and think, I want that. Become stronger, become respected, become untouchable. But the series quietly shows the cost too, because every level he gains pushes him further away from normal life. His problems get bigger, his responsibilities get heavier, and fewer people can actually understand them. Power isolates. That's a theme hidden underneath all the hype moments. Another reason Jin-Woo works so well is because he fulfills two fantasies at once. The first fantasy is obvious, power. Everybody sees that, but the second fantasy is more important, control. Early Jin-Woo has almost none. His money situation controls him, his rank controls him, other hunters control him, danger controls him, and then the system appears, and for the first time, effort directly creates results. You can understand why that feels satisfying. A lot of people feel trapped by work, school, money, expectations, bad luck. Watching somebody slowly take control back over their life feels good, even when it's exaggerated, even when shadow soldiers are involved. But I think the most interesting part of Jin-Woo is this. He never really stops being that weak hunter mentally, at least not completely, because people who spend years feeling powerless rarely forget it. You see it in how aggressively he trains, how protective he becomes, how quickly he eliminates threats, how hard he works to make sure he never returns to who he used to be. That fear stays with him. And sometimes fear creates monsters, or heroes, or both. But that's why Jin-Woo's coolest moments land so hard. Because viewers remember where he started. Strength without struggle is fireworks. Strength after humiliation feels earned. And earned power, it just hits differently. I also think there's a reason why people became attached to Jin-Woo during a period where self-improvement content exploded everywhere. Like gym culture, productivity culture, grinding culture. Everybody talks about leveling up now. And then here comes a character whose entire existence is literally leveling up. Of course, people connected with it. He turns self-improvement into a spectacle. But there's one question I keep coming back to. Would people love Jin-Woo as much if he stayed weak? Probably not. And I think that says something interesting about us too. Because we celebrate growth stories, but we're uncomfortable with weakness. Early Jin-Woo was painful to watch sometimes. He struggles, he fails, he gets embarrassed. And viewers spend those episodes waiting for transformation. Maybe because transformation feels more comfortable than vulnerability. But without weakness, there is no transformation. Without fear, there is no courage. Without failure, there's no reason to care. And that's why Sung Jin-Woo works. Not because he becomes the strongest, not because he gets shadow soldiers, not because of the aura edits. People connect with him because deep down, a lot of people know how it feels like to look at themselves and think, I can't stay like this forever. And whether that means getting stronger physically, mentally, financially, or emotionally, that feeling is powerful. Jin-Woo just turns that feeling into a story where the grind finally answers back. And maybe that's why watching him level up feels so satisfying, because part of us hopes we can too. I got a question for y'all. So do y'all think that Sung Jin-Woo changed because he gained power, or did gaining power just reveal who he really was? Anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments who you want me to break down next. This is Anime Under the Surface, and I'll catch you guys next week.